Hey guys, welcome back to Nutrition Science. We have a lab going again today. I'm going to be doing a lot of talking, like as we're preparing the food, so that we don't have any downtime in there. But today we are working with bacon. It's turkey bacon versus regular pork bacon, and checking to see lipid content. Which one has more fat, right? Because it is an animal product, so we know that it's going to have fat as opposed to an oil. So if we take a look down here, you can see we have our different preparations of bacon. We have some turkey bacon. We have some pork bacon. I am going to grab a weighing tray and we're going to bring that over here. We're going to get that zeroed out. Okay, and we now have that balance zeroed out. Coming back over this way, going to grab our pork bacon, and there is your first piece of data. That's our before weight for our pork bacon. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are all set to get cooking here. This is an induction top cooker. This thing cooks relatively quickly. So I'm going to get my pork bacon here. Get that all ready to go. And a couple of quick things here when we're talking about the preparations of bacon. So we have turkey and we have pork, and here's the exact numbers. I gave you a link in the pre-lab, but if you want to see the exact numbers on the label, right here goes our regular sliced bacon, and here goes our turkey bacon, so you can get the actual numbers that we're working with. All right, you can see our pork bacon is making some bacon right there. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to be working on rendering the fat. So we want to save the fat that's going to drip out of here. We're checking to see how much fat we'll get from each preparation. Now keep in mind when you're looking at the serving size, we're using just one piece of bacon for each one, even though one of those packages definitely says 2 strips of bacon for a serving size. Hopefully we're not going to set off the alarms in the room. I haven't ever done that yet, but I don't want to jinx myself. We're getting that bacon all ready to go. Now, a couple other things when you're taking a look at it, we are doing before and after. We're rendering the fat, which means we're going to save the fat that gets cooked out over here to see, how much fat is left in the bacon. You can try to determine that and how much was fried off. So that's one topic of discussion, and you can compare that with the turkey bacon, and we'll be able to take a look at it. And we talked about rendering fat. What some people do is they will save the fat, right? It's going to be liquid because it's heated, but when it cools, it's going to cool and become a solid at room temperature, just like any other saturated fat coming from an animal. And people will save it, and then they'll cook with that next time. So like you can spray your pan, or maybe instead of spraying the pan, what you end up doing is putting some of that bacon in the pan like you would with butter, and you just kind of let it cook right up. And it's supposed to give more flavor. Also, you may have noticed, right, if your parents are frying stuff at home, if they're getting an animal fat as a liquid form, they're probably putting it in some kind of a container, right, and putting it under the sink and not pouring it down the drain. Right, because we know that that will solidify at room temperature. So here goes that for you bacon eaters, right? How much do you let it go? Some of you guys are going to cook it to a crisp, and then some people don't quite like it that way. That will change our data too. So that's a bit of a difference as well. So I'm going to start moving a little quickly here. So this looks like it's getting to be done. I'm going to worry a little bit about this plastic container. But remember, we're already zeroed out. Now, I know you probably never do this at home because you want all the fat you can, but I'm going to just let it sit in this paper towel for a minute. And I'm going to put that in here. Here we go. And we have our after weight of the bacon. All right. And that's already zeroed out. So that's the after weight of our bacon. So what I want to do here and now is this. Let's get another measurement here. And you're going to have to get creative on how you record this. So here goes our balance. I am going to zero out our balance. My pork bacon here. Let's get this vial, this collecting jar. I'm going to zero that out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and render some of this fat. So I have my pan. Now the reason we're not just weighing the pan, what you're thinking of, this is an induction top cooker. You could maybe talk to your physics teacher about this. Right, this is, so it works, it has to work with a cast iron pan and they're just too heavy. So you can see here, that's just from one slice. So I don't know how many slices you guys are eating, but that's from one slice. And here goes the weight of our rendered fat. All right, so you can record that number somewhere. And that's from our one slice. So you're thinking, what can we do now? How do we know that there's some fat still left in this pan, right, that I most definitely couldn't get all of it out. So what I'm going to do is, again, you figure out how you want to record it. Here's some paper towel. So let's zero out again. We'll go to 0. I'm going to put that paper towel on there. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Double this up. I'm going to go this way and this way so that I don't have to clean the scale. Balance again. So now we're zeroed. So what I'm going to do here is clean this pan out. Right, see how much more I can collect. And I know you're going to say, oh, you lost some on that paper towel that you put it down to tap it out, and yeah, I messed that one up. But we'll see what we can render. So here you've found a little bit more fat, right? Another 1.13 grams. And that's what we've collected so far, right? That's what we've collected from our pork bacon. So I'm going to set up a part 2, and I'm going to just get myself organized again so you don't have to watch all that. And I'll be right back.